Daniel, 31, had been with Kelsey, 28, for 3 years and engaged for 1. He owned a successful food truck business and had been saving for years to give Kelsey the grand wedding she always wanted, costing about $75,000. He thought she was worth it, until one evening changed everything. During a casual backyard barbecue, Daniel went inside to grab more beer and overheard Kelsey talking to her friends, Paisley and Isabella, through the kitchen window. "God, I can't wait to be done with all this," Kelsey said. "The food truck thing was cute at first, but imagine telling people your husband runs a roach coach for a living." They all laughed. Daniel froze. "At least he's paying for the whole wedding," Paisley added. "That's something." Kelsey continued. "He's just a stepping stone. Honestly, once the wedding's paid for and everything's done, I'll give a year max. My cousin's a divorce lawyer. She says I could probably get decent alimony since he owns his own business." More laughter. Daniel stood there, sick to his stomach, listening as Kelsey mocked the engagement ring he worked hard to afford and admitted she shut down his idea of a food truck station at the wedding by lying about her father's embarrassment, even though her dad, a mechanic, loved his business. 2 more months of playing the perfect bride, then a year of playing house, and I'm out, she said. Maybe I'll meet someone at the country club. Daniel somehow kept his cool, returned outside, and played along. Kelsey, oblivious, continued the performance, touching his arm and gushing about their future while shooting knowing glances at her friends. That night, he made a decision. He wouldn't be a fool. He'd be strategic. He started documenting everything, the wedding expenses, text messages, contracts, all in his name. Most deposits were refundable up to 30 days before. If Kelsey wanted to play games, she was about to lose. 2 weeks later, things escalated. One night, Daniel overheard Kelsey FaceTiming Paisley. "God, Daniel is so clueless," she laughed. "He just transferred another $8,000 for catering deposit. Can you believe this idiot actually sold his project car to pay for my dream wedding?" His blood boiled, but he stayed silent, recording the conversation. Then she dropped another bomb. Her wedding wasn't about love. "Once this is done, I'll have the perfect Instagram wedding to launch my influencer career. Who needs a mechanic husband when you can leverage a fancy wedding into something better?" The next morning, Daniel began executing his plan. He met with the venue manager, Sarah, and showed her the evidence. Disgusted, she agreed to hold a deposit in escrow. If Kelsey tried to take over the booking, she'd be in for a nasty surprise. Unexpectedly, Kelsey's sister, Delilah, reached out. She suspected something was off and shared screenshots of Kelsey's private Instagram, where she hinted at upgrading her life and using what you've got to get what you want. "I love my sister," Delilah admitted over coffee, "but she's been like this since high school, using people and discarding them. I'll back you up." Acting normal became the hardest part. Kelsey threw a tantrum when Daniel suggested scaling back the flower budget, storming off to Paisley's. Instead of apologizing, he used the time to secure vendor refunds, move his savings, and gather receipts. $23,000 so far. While looking for insurance papers, he stumbled upon her diary. "Daniel's so pathetically in love with me. He'll never see it coming," she had written. His stupid car collection had to go anyway. Who wants to be married to a guy who spends weekends working on cars? She returned the next morning, talking about cake tastings like nothing had happened. Daniel smiled and nodded, knowing in 6 weeks she'd lose everything. More secrets came to light. Kelsey's friend Isabella warned Daniel that Kelsey had a history of manipulating men. His sister caught Kelsey flirting with Barry, a guy from her work at the grocery store. Kelsey had been telling people he was controlling because he wanted to see vendor contracts. She had even bought a backup wedding dress with his credit card, which he immediately disputed. Everything was documented: photos, videos, screenshots, receipts. The wedding was still on track, as far as Kelsey knew, but Daniel had something special planned. He had moved the most expensive contracts into her name. When he didn't show up, she'd be financially responsible for everything. He stopped wearing his engagement ring when she wasn't around, a small but liberating step toward freedom. This morning, everything came to a head. At 6 a.m., he made coffee and sent a mass text he had prepared weeks ago, a compilation of Kelsey's conversations, texts, and group chats where she and her friends laugh about using him as a stepping stone. He sent it to both their families, the wedding party, and their closest friends. Then he turned off his phone and went to the gym. I got back home around 9 a.m., and all hell had broken loose. My sister Delilah was blowing up my backup phone, the one only she knew about, with live updates from the church. OMG, bro. Kelsey's mom is screaming at her in the bridal suite, like full-on banshee mode. She keeps yelling, "How could you be so stupid to get caught?" Not even mad about what Kelsey did, just that she got exposed. I sat on my couch, drank my protein shake, and watched everything unfold through Delilah's texts. Apparently, Kelsey first tried claiming the video was edited or taken out of context. That defense crumbled when Isabella, trying to save her own reputation, immediately threw her under the bus and confirmed everything in the family group chat. The best part? Kelsey had convinced her parents to put their credit cards down as backing for a bunch of non-refundable deposits, promising to pay them back with our wedding money. They're out almost $330,000. Guess they shouldn't have trusted their daughter's get-rich-quick scheme. Around 10 a.m., Kelsey started calling me from different numbers. I didn't answer, but the voicemails were epic. "Baby, please. They don't understand our love. I was just joking with the girls. You can't do this to me. Do you know how much money my parents spent?" Then the last one, "I swear to God, Daniel, if you don't show up, I'll tell everyone you abuse me." That last threat was particularly stupid since I've been recording all our interactions for the past 2 months, just in case. My favorite message came from Paisley. "You ruined her life. She had everything planned. She was going to get you to buy a house, then divorce you and get half in the settlement. Thanks for the confession, genius." At 11 a.m., Delilah reported total chaos at the church. Half the guests had left. Kelsey's dad was having a meltdown about the credit card charges. Her mom was still screaming, but now at the wedding planner, demanding refunds. Isabella and Paisley tried to sneak out, but got cornered by Kelsey's aunts, who were apparently very invested in the family's reputation in their community. The best moment? Kelsey, in her $7,000 dress that I secretly canceled the payment for last week, running out to the parking lot screaming my name, mascara running down her face. She tried to drive to my house, but forgot her car was at the salon. Had to watch her bridesmaids awkwardly pile her giant dress into an Uber. Delilah got all on video. I did feel a tiny bit bad for the guests who traveled far, so I arranged with the reception venue to serve the food anyway, just as a regular lunch. No wedding stuff. Most people actually went and apparently had a great time gossiping about what happened. The open bar probably helped. It's now 6 p.m. My phone has 145 missed calls, mostly from Kelsey's family. Her sister keeps texting that Kelsey's totally breaking down and needs closure. Yeah, well, I needed a faithful fiancé, not a gold digger planning to rob me blind. The only slight hiccup, Kelsey's cousin Barr, showed up at my house trying to act tough. I just replayed the video of Kelsey mocking his recent divorce on my doorbell camera. He left pretty quickly after that. I know some people might think leaving someone at the altar is cruel, but you know what's crueler? Planning to exploit someone's love for financial gain. Playing with their trust and future just to fund your lifestyle upgrade. At least I gave her the wedding day drama she clearly wanted, just not the kind she planned. Tomorrow, I'm heading to my lake house for a week. Delilah's handling the fallout with the family, and she's enjoying it way too much. I blocked Kelsey everywhere but kept her sister's number active, partly to stay informed, partly because watching Kelsey's perfect plan implode is oddly satisfying. Oh, and those wedding ring photos Kelsey posted all over Instagram? The diamond was cubic zirconia. I switched it months ago when I first overheard her plan. She spent 6 weeks bragging about her perfect 3-carat diamond to all her friends. Hope she didn't try to get it appraised for resale value. A week later, the fallout has been nuclear. My phone has been blowing up nonstop. Kelsey's sister keeps sending me desperate texts. "She's losing it. Please just talk to her. And you've destroyed her life. I hope you're happy." Yeah, I am happy. The same sister who was laughing with Kelsey about their brilliant plan is now begging me to fix the mess they created. The morning after the wedding, Kelsey showed up at my house screaming like a banshee. I recorded everything on my doorbell camera. She was pounding on my door at 6 a.m., mascara streaked down her face, still wearing part of her wedding dress, now covered in dirt, shrieking that I had no right to humiliate her like this. My neighbor Barry called the cops, but she took off before they arrived. Remember Paisley and Isabella, her friends who were laughing about the scam? Well, everything's falling apart in their little circle too. Paisley's boyfriend saw the video I sent out and realized Paisley had been planning the same thing with him. He dumped her immediately. Isabella's husband is now questioning their entire relationship. Their whole gold digger club is imploding. And here's where it gets even better. Kelsey had a complete meltdown at work on Monday, started screaming at her coworkers when they asked about the wedding, threw a stapler at her manager's head, and got herself fired on the spot. Her boss actually called me later to apologize. Turns out, Kelsey had been telling everyone at work that my family's money would let her quit soon anyway. Joke's on her. I built my business from scratch, and now she's unemployed with $30,000 in credit card debt from all the non-refundable deposits. The video evidence I sent to everyone has been making rounds in our social circle. Her parents watched her laughing about scamming me, planning to take me for everything I was worth. Her dad, who I really liked, called me yesterday. He was crying, said he and her mom had sacrificed everything to put Kelsey through college, worked extra jobs to give her a good life, and now they can't even look at her. They're selling their car to help cover the wedding debt she racked up. Kelsey's been posting insane rants on social media, trying to paint herself as a victim, but I got screenshots of everything. Every time she posts some sob story, I just reply with her own words. My favorite is a video of her telling Paisley, "Daniel's just a stepping stone. Once the wedding's paid for, I'll find someone who actually matters." Her perfect backup plan is falling apart too. That rich guy she was planning to pursue after divorcing me, he saw the videos, actually messaged me on LinkedIn to thank me for the warning. Turns out, she'd already been sending him flirty DMs while we were engaged. Delilah is my hero through all this. She went to Kelsey's favorite bar last night and recorded her trying to spin some story about me being abusive. Delilah just played the wedding planning video where Kelsey's bragging about her scam on her phone. The entire bar turned on her. She tried to throw a drink at Delilah, but slipped and fell face first into a table. Everything caught on video, now viral in our local Facebook groups. I almost feel bad about how thoroughly her life is crumbling. Almost. But then I remember sitting there at that barbecue, hearing her laugh about using me, about how she was just tolerating my kisses and touch until she could upgrade to someone better. Every night, I played along, laying next to her while she thought I was just her stupid piggy bank. She can't even afford her apartment anymore. Her roommate already posted on Facebook looking for someone to take over Kelsey's lease. Last I heard, she's moving back in with her parents, who can barely look at her. People keep telling me I went too far, that I could have just broken up with her normally, but actions have consequences. She played a stupid game, and now she's winning stupid prizes.